20-year-old Anne Margaret from Sweden. And I wish I'd have known then, because now I can tala svenska in lilla. But I didn't know it then. But she was already pretty good on English. All the Swedes can speak English. All right, so that night, or the day, at the end of that session, the bass player walked over to me. "You free Friday?" I was free the rest of my life. I said, "Yeah," and he said, "Come back, I'm recording Roy Orbison." Roy Orbison. I was a huge fan, you know, because the same studio is where he did all of his records. Only the Lonely, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did this record. Come on, baby. Let me take you by the hand. Come on, baby. Let me take you by the hand. Me for you, you for me. All your own candy, candy, candy man. A 13-year-old girl, I was booked to work with a 13-year-old girl. She came in and recorded this song. Last year she was nominated, she was inducted in the Country Music Hall of Fame. She had this song. She's 41 and her mama still calls her baby. Folks round Brownville County all think she's crazy, 'cause she walks downtown with a suitcase in her hand, looking for some dark-haired mysterious man. Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on?
He's an Edward.
Could it be a faded rose some days gone by? And did I hear you say he was meeting you here today, to meet you to his mansion in the sky? I was booked on a session with George Jones. Producer forgot I was on a session. The piano player on the session, who by the way is in the Country Music Hall of Fame, was blind. So the producer played the piano and George sang the song once for the piano player to learn it. He said, "Okay, I'm going to go in the control room. I'm going to hear this on microphone." He walked by me and he said, "Get something on the second verse." Kept some letters by his bed, dated 1952, and he had underlined in red every single "I love you," and he stopped loving her today. I didn't play her. That was all I did. Right. Today they'll carry him away. He stopped loving her today.
You know, she came to see him one last time.
Yeah.
Barbara Mandrell. I've worked with her a lot. She was a good friend. The thing that was special about it is that she and I and Roy Clark together were inducted in the Hall of Fame the same year,
Wow.
2009. And here's that song she did that I was really crazy about. I was country when country wasn't cool. I was country from my hat down to my boots. I was listening to the Opry when all of my friends were digging rock and roll and rhythm and blues. I was country when country wasn't cool. And I think one of my favorite songs I ever played on, his home is just on the other side of the state line here. And they called him the storyteller. Tom T. Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Song went like this.
Thank you.
I was sitting in Miami, pouring blended whiskey down, when this old gray black gentleman was sweeping up around. Uninvited, he sat down and opened up his mind on old dogs and children and watermelon wine.
Dear boy.
I want to finish with one last one. 1965, I'm recording with Johnny Cash. And he had this song that I've always known to be a fiddle song. And he said to me, "Did you play a solo on this?"
That sounds like Johnny.
And you know, like I said earlier, in Nashville, we say yes and figure it out. And I said, yeah, okay. What am I going to do? So I came up with this idea. After the session, he walked over. "Can you show me how to do that?" I said, "Yes, sir." And I gave him the two harps. Well, later he paid me back. There was this thing in Nashville, they were going to bus kids all the way across town. You remember when all that stuff was going on? His kids were in a private school. I called my friend Harold Bradley, I said, and his kids were there, and I said, "Can you get my kids in that school your kids are in?" He said, "No, but I'll tell you who can. Call Johnny Cash." So I called him. He paid me back in a week. They called me from the school. "Oh, we're going to welcome your kids to our school." So that's how he paid me back. Anyway, this is the song that we did. And he had lyrics. I never knew there were lyrics, but I'm not going to do the lyrics. So. Opry, if you're not going to play that song, stay home. So I play it every time. Yeah.
And you just came up with that on the spot.
Yeah, but it was much slower than that. Because he was singing, look yonder coming down the railroad track, you know. But after the session, I thought, I could have learned to do that, you know. So as time goes by, and I've played it every show, every concert, every last song every night, and I've played, you know. So as the time went by, I picked it up.
Practice does help, doesn't it? Practice does help, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, and like my wife says, when I play that, it proves I'm full of hot air. So I got lots of air. You know, it ain't bad for 84-year-old with 5 great grandsons.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.